It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ho Ho Oh, 25 Straight Nights of Christmas movie reviews, guys. Welcome to night 24. We are reviewing Die Hard, the 1988 classic movie. Bruce Willis as the legendary John McClane. And guys, if you haven't been here before, welcome to Project Potter. My name is Kyle, your host. Go check out the other content, of course, guys. What I do is go through my favorite scenes from the movie, my favorite character, my least favorite character, the score out of 10, and then rank it against the other 23 movies at this point. So, guys, night 24, Merry Christmas Eve. Buckle up. Come to Project Porno, have a few laughs. This movie, I mean, where do I begin? Two words, guys. Hans Gruber. Actually, four words, John McClane. Hans Gruber, John McClane, that's our big two here, guys. I mean, just incredible performances from both Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman. I think it's possibly their best role for each of them. I mean, Alan Rickman obviously had Severus Snape, but like this is a different role. We get to see Alan Rickman as the bad guy, and man, he is so good. His accent is so good. The scene when he runs into John at the top there, he thinks he's pulling a fast one on John because he gets caught real quick. He notices the no shoes, and then he looks up and he says, "Oh, I'm John McClane," and then he kind of has a moment. And he puts on the sax and he's like, "Oh, don't shoot me, please. You're one of them, aren't you?" And then he's like, "Oh, don't worry." He's like, "You ever used a gun before?" He's like, "Here you go." And then he doesn't pull it in there. He's like, "No bullets." He's like, "What do you think I am, Han, an idiot?" The whole back and forth with John and the cop, the whole terrorist team is energetic. Argyle is great. The guy on the terrorist cop is good. And the quarterback is toast. There's so many great lines. There's so many great scenes. And then John is just such a badass in this movie. He's bloodied up. He steps on glass. And the reason he doesn't have his shoes on, guys, is because when everything goes down here, he is taking the advice from that guy he gets on the plane where he says, "You know what you gotta do?" He's like, "When you travel," he's like, "get off and make fists with your toes." And he's like, "Fists with your toes, huh?" And he's like, "Ah, son of a bitch." And then that's when everything goes down, guys. So he doesn't have time to react. He just grabs his gun and goes. And then obviously, yeah, steps on glass later and stuff. And man, it's just Bruce Willis is so iconic and badass and ridiculously cool in this movie, and there's just so many awesome scenes and just such a clever movie and so well made and so intense and action oriented and dark, and it's crazy. It's so good. It's an amazing movie. I haven't seen it enough times to quote like line for line like a lot of people can. Shoot like else. Hostages die, dude. A guy gets thrown out of a window. The police come, they cut the lines. I mean, there's so much, guys. I'm not going to recap scene for scene, guys. But like I said, I love this movie. I haven't seen it nearly enough. I'm not one of those people that's seen Die Hard 35 times and quotes every line. But every time I watch this movie, I'm like, number one, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, okay? So anyone that says Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, you're crazy. Is it an action movie on Christmas? Yes. But it takes place literally on Christmas Eve. It ends with Christmas music. A Christmas party. John McClane is invited to the Christmas party, and that's why he's there, because he's going to a Christmas party. They literally say Merry Christmas in the movie, so it's a Christmas movie, guys. If you don't think so, I don't know what to tell you. What a film. What an absolute film. I mean, just so clever. Like, oh, 1 against 12. No way he gets out of this. But he starts taking them down one by one. There's like two blonde brothers, I guess, that like I always mix up. Like, your brother was squealing when I broke his fucking neck. And he's like, "I'll kill you. I'll kill you." And, they're toying with him a little bit. There's the guy where he's going through the table. He's like, "No more table." He's like, when you have an opportunity to kill someone, he's like, "Don't hesitate." And then he shoots him and he's like, "Good advice." But the dynamic between John and the cop is like the real story. And the dynamic between John and Hans Gruber, and Hans Gruber is like kind of envious of him, and they're wondering like what they want, and they're trying to get in the safe the whole time, but they're just a common thief, but he's trying to get back at the guy for Nakatomi Plaza. And I just love how in the beginning they show Nakatomi Plaza and it's like so beautiful, everything's quiet, and then John is like calling the police and he's like, "Come on, you gotta get out of here." And they're like, "Sir, this is a secure line. You need to hang up or this is gonna be a violation." And then he's like, "Then come over and fucking arrest me. I don't care. Just send the police." And then he like runs down the building. And I just love how John is like held up and then like he's going between floors and he like opens the door and there's a guy in there. It's a little crazy, but I just love how there's like two security guards in there, which you think there'd be more security for a building that big, but whatever. They come in, they just shoot the guy straight up in the face, and then the other guy gets taken out because they throw like a little flashbang or whatever. but John just outmaneuvers everyone. He starts taking off the terrorists one by one. And then Reginald VelJohnson is like talking to him on the radio. Their chemistry is great, man. And he's like about to leave, and that's when John throws the body on him, and he's like, "Welcome to the party, pal." And it's just so good, man. And this movie is so memorable and so iconic and fantastic. And I don't have enough good adjectives and good things to say about this movie, guys, because it's that good. And I'm sorry I can't quote more lines or remember more scenes because I haven't seen it enough, but it's from start to finish. No minute is wasted. It's great. The villain's great. There's real stakes. The security guards die, but like the annoying dude who does cocaine, who was trying to kid on Holly at the beginning, he's like, I negotiate $1 billion deals every day. He's like, I think I could take care of some Euro trash. He's like trying to be like, hey, John, we go way back. And John's like, dude, I don't know you. I just met you tonight. He's like, these people are going to kill you, man. Oh, John's like, yeah, I don't know. This guy, you can just kill him. And Han's like, okay. And boom, shoots him in the head. And everyone's like, oh. And it's just, everything is really realistic and crazy. And I just love how Hans got all those speeches, and he's like such an imposing figure. And seeing Hans and John McClane go head to head, Bruce and Alan Rickman just at the top of their game is just really great. And yeah, this movie, man, iconic. Okay, guys, that brings us to our favorite character. Guys, it's John McClane. Bruce Willis's role of a lifetime, man. And I know they made a bunch of Die Hard movies, and the second one's pretty good too. Second one, I don't remember much about the second one, but they crash a plane or they're at an airport or something. But it's really interesting because it's like air traffic control. Nothing beats the original Die Hard. It's just like, dude, you see a picture bloodied and he's beaten up and he's sweaty and his foot's hurting and he's got a limp, and eventually he like takes some bullets to the legs. And he even has a moment where he's up there and he's like, hey, pal. And he's like, just call him the cowboy for a little bit. And he's just calling him Roy. We get the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker line. And then Hans actually brings it back down and he's like, what did you say to me? He's like, Mr. McClane, you said yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. He's like, you got me. And then that's when he's got the Christmas wrapping that's strapped the extra gun. And then he's like, and shoots the guy in the head. And he's just so awesome and badass. And like, Bruce Willis, man, there's some sex appeal here. I'm not gonna lie. Like Holly's like, oh, I missed you, and then he's like, oh, you didn't miss me enough to use your last name, and then they like kind of get in a fight, and then everything goes down. John realizes like how much of a jerk he's been, and he's like, tell her this, tell her I'm sorry, and all this things, and he's like, you can tell him yourself, cowboy. And I was like, oh, dude. And then they meet at the end, obviously, and they hug it out, and it's a great moment. Yeah, dude, John McClane, just so badass and so smart and awesome and just the cool, like one of the coolest characters ever. And just, man, Bruce Willis crushed it. Okay, guys, my least favorite character has got to be the guy, I think his name is Dwayne Johnson, and it's not The Rock, but it's this guy who's in charge before the FBI comes over. I did like that scene where the FBI were like, oh, this is Agent Johnson, and this is Agent Johnson, no relation. John McClane is like, dude, you ain't in charge of jack shit. Like, what's going on down there? But he's just like fighting against everything, and he's like, oh no, I'm in charge of this operation. And he's like, you see that he got a guy killed? He's like, I'm gonna put him in the slammer, blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, that's why Reginald VelJohnson stands up for him. And he's like, hey man, he did everything he could. He's like, you're not blaming that on John. And he's like, he's the one that got us like down from 12 terrorists to 7. And he's like, we got to get him out of there. One dimensional, one cut, and just like, oh well, I don't like that because this and blah blah blah. And they're stepping on my toes and blah blah blah. And I was like, forgettable character, guys, and easily the worst one in this movie, I think. Hey guys, that brings us to the score, and I know you're thinking, guys, what is Kyle going to give this for a score? We're almost at the end of the Ho Ho Oh rankings, guys. Spirited has been at a 10 out of 10. The only 10 out of 10 on the list for quite a while. I think we did Spirited like the third night. So, like, it's crazy because that's been on top for so long. Well, guys, I know I put a separate score in for the Santa Claus, and I put a 9.4.8 in there. But guys, this one is going and a 10 out of 10 as well. This is a masterpiece, dude. Die Hard is iconic. It's classic. I mean, what can I say, dude? It's just such a smart film. Just terrorists working together where the guy chainsaws the pipes, and then he like does it. The guy's like cutting the wires, and he's like, dude, not yet. And he's just like, and he's kind of crazy, and he's cutting it. And then he like gets it the last second. Group are so coordinated, but then they still have their issues, and then they're trying to blow the roof. But then John McClane finds out, and then he's saving people. people. He's taking them out one by one. It's so good. It's just a carefully calculated movie, and it's just like every single minute is useful. And there's usually like intense scenes, and just like the way things are happening, where John has like got a plan, and then he's like, oh no, he's got to like change it up. And there's a couple times where he almost gets caught, and he's undermanned and understaffed, but like they're doing everything they can. I just love how the police are kind of out there and they don't really know what to do, but John keeps calling it in, and it's just so good and it's so great. I'm sorry, I wish I had better words to describe this, but it's such a well-made movie and a great film and a piece of art, really. And yeah, man, this is a masterpiece, and this is a 10 out of 10. And I just that's all I got. Okay, guys, that brings us to the Ho Ho O ranking. So, guys, we have 2 movies at number 10 now. And what I'm going to tell you guys when I do these Ho Ho O rankings is what is the rewatchability like on these? How much fun was this movie? How iconic is it, or what great performances stood out? And guys, as much as I love Spirited, and I love that movie, I had a great time. I thought it was so clever. Die Hard is a new number 1, dude. Die Hard, I think, is the best Christmas movie. Now, we still have one more night. We still got National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is a great film. I'm not saying it can't topple Die Hard, but dude, Die Hard is the cream of the crop. And it's a Christmas movie, and I think it's the best Christmas movie. And it goes at number 1, guys. 10 out of 10. The Ho-Oh rankings knocks off Spirited to number 2. Also at a 10 out of 10. So even though these scores are the same, guys, I'm letting you know that there are factors that go into that score, which is why one goes ahead of the other. So number 1, guys, Die Hard, the classic Christmas movie, 1988 action thriller. Die Hard, 10 out of 10, number 1. Number 2, Spirited, 10 out of 10 as well. Fantastic movie. A lot of people sleeping on that. Those Spirited numbers, those views, not very high. Guys, go watch my review on Spirited. You're going to enjoy it. Number 3, guys, Home Alone at a 9.9. Number 4, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at a 9.8. Number 5, Bad Santa at a 9.7. Number 6, Daddy's Home at a Daddy's Home 2 at a 9.6. Number 7, Love Actually at a 9.5. Number 8, The Santa Claus at a 9.4.8. Number 9, 8 Crazy Nights at a 9.4. Number 10, Disney's A Christmas Carol at a 9.3. Number 11, The Night Before at an 8.6. Number 12, Jingle All the Way at an 8.4. Number 13, Just Friends at an 8.3. Number 14, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the 2002 Jim Carrey movie at an 8.2. Number 15, Elf at a 7.8. Number 16, A Muppet Christmas Carol at a 7.4. Number 17, Klaus at a 7.1. Number 18, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special at a 6.6. Number 19, Deck the Halls at a 6.5. Number 20, The Polar Express at a 6.1. Number 21, Charlie Brown Christmas at a 5.7. Number 22, Christmas with the Cranks at a 5.3. Number 23, A Christmas Story at a 2.5. And number 24, guys, It's a Wonderful Life. And that was not a wonderful movie, but that is how the rankings shape up through 24 nights. All right, guys. That's it. One more night, guys. Christmas Day. We will finish the series up. We are reviewing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That should be a great one, guys. Die Hard's sitting at number 1 right now. If there's one movie that has a chance to knock off Die Hard, it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know if it will. I'm going to go in like I always do, guys, with a fresh mindset tomorrow night, and I will give my review on that, and I will give my final Ho-Ho-O rankings. But, guys, thank you for checking out the channel. Thanks for sticking with me the last 24 nights, guys. It has been a long, exhausting, but fun journey. Making content 24 and now going to be 25 straight nights is absolutely exhausting. Even if it is just watching movies and putting up reviews, it's bringing the energy for the review. It's putting the editing time in there, guys. It's making the best product for you guys. So I just want to let you know, not trying to humble brag here. I just want to let you guys know that I've had a blast doing this. First of all, the time has flown by. I can't believe I'm about to go to night 25. The 25 days of Project P, the Christmas special, guys. I'm so glad I could bring it to you guys because it's really put me in the Christmas mood. And appreciate you guys stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. And then until tomorrow night, guys. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.